So in terms of making connections based on this reflection that you have to enter here, right? The three personal connections, what I want you to think about are maybe poetic devices, maybe some of the poets that you analyzed, as I said, 2 weeks ago, we looked at the indigenous poets, or maybe it's some of your own criterion. Maybe you've already written U2A14, so you can draw upon some of the ideas there. Maybe it was a poet that you discovered, right? But today's Padlet, what I want you to do for 15 minutes. Okay, so the U2A15 question says, share 3 personal connections you can make to the poetry information you learned in this unit, right? This should take you about 10 minutes to figure out your connections and then to build it into this Padlet here. I'm going to share the link in a second. It could take you about 20 to 25 minutes, right? And then, as I said, I'm going to be chatting with you individually. Here's an example post. So one connection, I've titled it Connection 1, personification is helpful. So for me, I thought personification was helpful to understand this poem by Chief Dan George, which was from 2 weeks ago. Always include some sort of visual, right? I've built in this last week. We started to like each other's posts. And now this week, for this Padlet, you will see an area for comments. Please leave the comments alone because I would like to comment on the individual posts that you're making, right? So that way you can get feedback. These Padlets are open indefinitely, so there's no time limit on them, but I would like for you to at least post your answers by today. Try to get to all 3 by today. And again, you can put them underneath these columns here, right? Some of you might work here. If this is your first day and you're not sure how to do Padlet, you click on the plus sign, you title it, whatever you want to title it, you write your answer. To add a picture, you have to click the 3 dots and click the search engine. Just move this, you can type in whatever, so nature. And then the Padlet will pull up different pictures of nature. To choose the picture you want, you double click it and it adds it to the post, like so. Okay, let me do that again. I'm gonna delete it. You click the plus sign. I'm gonna title it Connection 1, Connection 1. I write something, blah, 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 right? To add a picture, you click the 3 zeros here, or you can add a GIF. Let's add a GIF this time. Right, and then that's it. Now, if you're going to be adding 2 or 3 posts for the day, you can change the colors to the same ones. So, oh wait, let me change it to green. Because I did my first post over here, it's green, it's green. Now that's not going to work for everybody because there's many of you here today, but changing the background gives me a sense of, another dimension, right? Rather than the typical black background here, because these headings should be in black. Okay, let me come back to you, double check. I'm going to add the Padlet links from before. So if you're here for the first time, you can take a look at the previous Padlets. If you want, I'll show you what my other classes have done. They've had a really good time with these Padlets, right? So that's my challenge to you. Fill up the Padlet page, right? And you can go beyond the page. They went beyond the page, okay? All right, let me go and come back to you and stop sharing my screen, and then I can set you free. Okay, no problem. Whoever's switching, that's fine. All right, so you have a couple of things you can do in the next 20 minutes. You can complete the Slido, right? The Slido link. Here are the links to the Padlets. Please let me know. You can see them in the chat box. You can nod your head or just give me an okay. You see them? The first Padlet link is from 2 weeks ago. That's based on the indigenous poets. The second Padlet link is for last week, where the students wrote about their own choice. So just take a look at them. The one that I want you to work on is number 3. This is U2A15. So that's what you're doing. If you want to go to the course while I'm chatting with people, you are looking at U2A15. That's today's focus, right? So Padlet number 3 will help you prepare your answer for U2A15. Now, while you're working on it, I'm going to be checking the Padlet. Okay, so I'm going to let you go for a minute or two, and I'm going to chat with Cheryl first. There she is. I'm going to chat with Cheryl first and figure out her presentation. Okay, are there any questions? I've been talking too much. Are there any questions? You can turn on your microphone or type in the chat box.
Yes, sir. Last question. So how many, so we need to write 3 connection, right? So like 3 Padlet, I mean. So do we need to write like a 3 connection
Yeah.
to this unit? Or
Yep.
just in the one Padlet, we talked about the 3 points?
So what you're doing is this activity is reviewing the whole, let me go back to the Padlet. This activity is reviewing the whole course, sorry, the whole unit 2. So you're making 3 connections to poetry. So one connection could be, for me, personification. Another connection could be the definition of metaphor. And then the third connection can be hip hop poetry. Hip hop poetry was really interesting for me to read. Okay, so you're making 3 poetic connections because that's the whole unit. Unit 2 is all about poetry. Okay?
Yes.
Good. Any other questions or problems? Okay, so you can get started on Padlet 2.
Oh, sir.
Yep. Hi. Oh, you've cut out.
I just need to switch to my laptop. Yeah, I may leave
Yeah,
for a minute.
That's not a problem. I got that message. If you need to switch to your laptops, that's fine. I'm going to be contacting some of you individually anyway. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And then you guys can get started. You don't have to turn on your webcam. You can turn them off the next, until I ask you to turn them back on again. Save your connections. And I'm going to check the Padlets while I'm chatting with people too. Okay. Okay. There's a live view of the Padlet. You don't have to add your name. That's up to you. Just so you're getting used to this Padlet idea. For those of you that are new.